One of the great things about LA is that it is such a great hub of innovation. And that's particularly true when it comes to innovation in aerospace. So we have a long tradition of aerospace in this part of the world, as many of you know. And that's why it's a real pleasure for me to introduce Mark Groden, who's the founder and CEO of Skyrise. And Skyrise is LA-based. It's a pretty amazing startup. And Mark will explain exactly what they do and what they're developing, because it's very, very important for the future of AAM services in this city and cities across the world. So, Mark, welcome. Thank you very much for coming.
Good morning, and thank you for having me here today. Our region is well known for its sprawl and congestion. Ground transportation solutions we have relied on are not keeping up with our needs. The solution is not on the ground or even on the horizon. It's overhead, and it will be here very soon. Since 2016, we have been developing an operating system designed to bring commercial-grade safety to general aviation aircraft. Our operating system and simplified flight controls reduce the complexity of learning how to fly, making it safer and easier for pilots to fly just about any airplane or helicopter. We believe that making general aviation safer serves a greater purpose in the short term by avoiding lives lost in general aviation, and in the long term to redefine the future of transportation. The city of Los Angeles has grappled with significant transportation challenges for literally nearly a century. We all know our city's transportation system was developed and heavily influenced by the automobile, leading to a vast network of roads and freeways shaping our city's landscape and our lifestyles. Yet that lifestyle is susceptible to infrastructure constraints and many choke points. Just this week, with a partial shutdown of the I-10, millions of trips were upended to the detriment of the entire region. Our roadways were built to serve us. Unfortunately, today, we serve them. The desire for individual freedom heavily influenced the city's focus on automobile infrastructure, and now we have to rethink that. The infrastructure constraints have caused Los Angeles to explore investments in public transportation improvements, promoting carpooling and ride-sharing services. Additionally, there have been ongoing discussions about the need for better urban planning to create more walkable and bike-friendly neighborhoods. So much of our world today is bound by the limitations of cars that no longer work to serve our needs. One scalable solution we should be investing in is moving more of our daily commute from the ground to the air. We are not dependent on infrastructure there. Today, only the very wealthy can afford to commute by air. At Skyrise, we are pioneering a future where flying becomes integrated into our daily lives. By unlocking new technologies and marrying them with existing aviation platforms and infrastructure, we can harness the freedom of flight we've all been dreaming of. This is not a distant dream, but a rapidly emerging reality that we are creating right now. We're in close partnership with the FAA, and we thank the FAA team that's here for the great collaboration. Let me share with you a snapshot from Skyrise's journey. In 2019, we operated the world's largest air taxi service, completing 1,200 trips in just 3 months around Los Angeles, and we were serving all of these learnings were to serve our mission and to better understand the product that we have to build. This invaluable experience offered us a deep understanding of the requirements and the complexities of scaling these operations. There are a lot of complexities. Some of the major challenges in developing an air taxi service are the capital, the time, and building the team to operate effectively across a city. We all know we have to make flight more accessible, but we need to make sure the infrastructure is available to support it. Today, there's a global fleet of roughly 400,000 general aviation aircraft already available, waiting to be deployed in service of air mobility. By upgrading existing airframes with modern safety systems like our operating system, we will build the most robust regional air transportation system today. As an example, we just announced last week that we're the first in the world to perform what's called an automated auto-rotation. For any pilots here today, I don't need to tell you how big of a deal that is. For everyone else, we put together a little video. We'll take a look.
Ready? Okay. 3, 2, 1, off. So what happens if you're flying a helicopter and the engine was to fail?
In aircraft today, you don't have the luxury of pulling over when something's going wrong. You still have to get back to the ground, and you have to get back to the ground safely.
If you did nothing, the rotor would stop and the aircraft would fall out of the sky like a rock. So in order to not do that, we enter what's called auto-rotation. The hardest thing to teach someone to do is to auto-rotate. There's 4 parts of auto-rotation. The first part of the auto is the entry, and that will include 3 different maneuvers: down collective, aft cyclic, pedal input, all at the same time. When the engine fails, the pilot only has 2 seconds to get the collective down and enter the auto-rotation maneuver. If you don't reduce the collective and reduce that pitch of the blades within a few seconds, the drag of the blade will then cause the blade to stop moving. At that moment, there's no more lift in the helicopter, and it will literally fall out of the sky. So after you're in the entry, you then have to do the glide. You need to maintain RPM, airspeed, and trim. You're constantly making small adjustments. You then have to enter the flare, pull aft cyclic to slow the aircraft down, then level it. As you get close to the ground, you're pulling up the collective, putting in pedal input to keep the aircraft in trim all at the same time for a successful auto-rotation.
Auto-rotation is an incredibly complex problem. Just doing a bunch of them, collecting all that data, it's hard to dissect all that information and actually come up with a solution to make a smart system that can compensate for all the different permutations in which you can experience an auto-rotation.
We start in the simulator and we're back and forth with the engineers, tuning the gains, making sure we understand how it's going to go. But at some point, if you're going to make a successful auto-rotation to the ground, you have to go to the ground.
In July of 2023, on a Saturday, we performed the world's first fully automated auto-rotation all the way down to the ground with Skyrise completely in control.
3, 2, 1, off.
Okay. All right, we're in auto mode.
Roger. There's the entry.
We're in the glide. RPM's good. Spot looks good. Speed's good. Altitude's good. Flare.
It was surreal on the day of to have all this work come together and culminate in something that we know is going to be saving a lot of lives.
It was just almost unbelievable.
I'm so proud of the team. We certainly are pioneering a new level of safety for this industry. Skyrise can now ensure, even in some of the worst emergency situations in any aircraft type, you will be able to get to the ground safely. Skyrise is truly the simplest and safest system in the sky.
Still get goosebumps every time I watch that. It was something we built up to for years. To put this in context, the event was recognized by Guinness Book of World Records as the first time this automatic auto-rotation has ever occurred. By making general aviation simpler and safer, it becomes more accessible to a larger number of people. Imagine a world where getting your pilot's license is not much more complicated than getting a driver's license. Of course, we need places to land these aircraft, and most of the commercial airports in the region are very, very congested, as we all know. Yet, Los Angeles area is home to over 24 general aviation airports and over 500 helipads, actually 553 to be exact. Now, imagine a world where we're actually leveraging those general aviation airports and helipads to become thriving hubs of innovation, transportation, and connectivity. A generation ago, subway stops in many cities spurred new development and new opportunities. Today, we believe the same is doable at general aviation airports. We have the opportunity to repurpose and optimize our existing infrastructure at a much lower cost to unlock the next generation of transportation. At Skyrise, we firmly believe in the power of utilizing existing assets and infrastructure. The United States has 20,000 general aviation airports and 5,000 helipads, which historically have been undervalued and underutilized. These can serve as the backbone of a new network for transportation. By transforming these resources into more utilized advanced air nodes, we lay the groundwork for aerial transportation that bypasses our congested roads and offers quick, efficient, and eventually clean transportation alternatives. Repurposing our existing infrastructure offers considerable benefits. Building new infrastructure from scratch entails significant investment, both financially and in terms of time. By leveraging what we already have, we can speed up the development of air mobility and bring benefits to both metro and rural areas much sooner. Beyond the length of time and financial implications, leveraging our existing general aviation airports is also much more environmentally sound. By utilizing what we have, we take dozens of cars off the road. Building trust in general aviation paves the way for new, more sustainable forms of flight. Safer expansion to the skies will allow for investment in sustainable and clean flight to flourish. By investing in the upgrade of existing airframes with highly automated technology within our current general aviation airport infrastructure, we usher in an era of regional air transit with minimal delay, lower costs, and reduced environmental impact. This strategy of repurposing existing aircraft and airports with new technology and new missions unlocks the next era of air transportation faster and at a lower cost for all. As we embark on this journey, our goal isn't merely to adopt a novel technology, but to redefine urban mobility and transform Los Angeles into a city of the future while leveraging existing assets. We envision a city where efficient, clean, and safe transportation is not a luxury, but a standard means of transportation accessible to everyone. Thank you.